Have you ever wondered what really draws people to others? Not in the Hollywood sense of tall, dark, and mysterious, but in that rare way where just being around someone makes you feel more calm, more at peace, more, dare I say it, seen. Buddhist psychology, with its rich tradition of mindfulness, compassion, and inner awareness, offers a framework that isn't about superficial charm or polished lines. It's about something far deeper, a genuine pull that comes from cultivating an internal state of calm and generosity. So if you're ready to dive into what makes someone truly captivating, here's a glimpse into how the ancient wisdom of Buddhism can make you magnetic in a way that's as profound as it is sustainable. In Buddhism, the notion of attachment, or tanha, is often discussed as a root cause of suffering. Here's the surprising twist, though. What if reducing your own cravings and attachments, your need for approval, validation, and control over others, actually made people more likely to be drawn to you? The wisdom here lies in the Buddhist concept of letting go. Now, I know letting go might sound a bit vague, maybe even cliché, but bear with me. In this case, it's a very specific kind of letting go. It's about freeing yourself from needing anything from anyone in particular. It's about letting go of the urge to be someone in the eyes of others, so that you can be someone in the eyes of yourself. This inner freedom, where you're no longer seeking but simply being, has a ripple effect. People can sense when you're at peace with yourself. You become less reactive, more composed, and ultimately more attractive. This isn't a Jedi mind trick. It's the simple effect of living without the constant, anxious need for validation. Think about it. People aren't drawn to neediness, they're drawn to ease. When you're at ease within, others naturally gravitate toward you. It's like you're sending out a signal that you're not here to get something from them, but to offer a presence that is calm and unpressured. The Buddhist perspective. Buddhist psychology teaches that all beings want to be happy and avoid suffering. By focusing less on how others perceive you and more on your own inner peace, you align with a mindset that encourages connection and harmony. And paradoxically, when you are no longer trying to make others like or respect you, that's exactly when they do. This concept is rooted in mudita, or sympathetic joy, finding joy in the joy of others without trying to possess or control it. When we embody this kind of joy and freedom, our energy shifts. People pick up on it. We all know the person who walks into a room and exudes a kind of serene charisma without saying a word. That's not a practice skill, it's an internal alignment. They're not projecting a need to be loved or respected. They're radiating an acceptance of who they are, flaws and all. And that, in itself, is irresistibly attractive. Section 2. Cultivating loving kindness, the heart of true respect and connection. If you've ever wondered about a guaranteed way to make people feel valued and respected, Buddhism has a powerful tool: metta, or loving kindness. It sounds simple, almost too good to be true. Just love everyone, right? But there's more to it than that. Buddhist psychology doesn't ask us to adopt a superficial positivity. It challenges us to open our hearts in a way that's radical, authentic, and transformative. Loving kindness is not about liking everyone or being nice just to be liked back. It's about cultivating a mindset that sees the humanity in everyone, a compassion so deep that it transcends the ego. This is the kind of love that fosters true respect, not just a casual fondness. So how can metta make people love and respect you? Imagine approaching each person you encounter with a sincere intention. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. The trick isn't just in thinking these thoughts for those you already care about, but applying them universally. Even with people you might disagree with, feel envious of, or find challenging, you can still send loving kindness in their direction. Over time, this practice rewires your brain's natural biases and judgments. Instead of focusing on what separates you from others, metta draws your focus toward shared humanity. This genuine empathy, rooted in Buddhist practice, becomes palpable and infectious. The magic of non-judgment. Here's a unique twist. Practicing metta has a strange but incredible effect on the way others see you. By consistently choosing to see the good in others, even if only in small, quiet ways, you become someone who people feel safe around. In Buddhist terms, you become a refuge. In practical terms, you're someone who people intuitively feel they can trust because they can sense you're not judging them. The natural human impulse to defend oneself, to present a perfect version or mask, relaxes around those who exude unconditional acceptance. When people feel that kind of ease around you, love and respect follow naturally. Let's break down how to practice metta in a way that goes beyond just the surface level. Start with yourself, which can sometimes be the hardest part. You can't truly love others if you're carrying around harsh self-criticism. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and repeat phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." Then extend that same intention outward, first to those you love, then to acquaintances, and finally to everyone. Yes, even the difficult people. With consistent practice, you'll start noticing subtle shifts in how others react to you. Strangers might smile more, friends may open up, and even those who once held grudges may feel an inexplicable softening. Building a respectful presence. When you embody metta, respect becomes a natural byproduct. People are drawn to others who embody kindness without any agenda or ulterior motive. Buddhist teachings often emphasize that the intention behind our actions matters as much as the actions themselves. Practicing metta with sincerity, not as a means to gain admiration, but simply as a path toward compassion, creates a presence that others will not only appreciate, but respect deeply. This doesn't mean you'll become best friends with everyone. It's not a popularity hack. But over time, the people you do connect with will be those who respect you for who you truly are, a person who brings genuine, loving kindness into a world that desperately needs it. Section 3. The power of non-attachment. Loving without clinging. One of the most misunderstood concepts in Buddhist psychology is non-attachment, or upekkha. At first glance, non-attachment sounds cold or even indifferent, as though we're being asked to stop caring about people. But in reality, non-attachment doesn't mean giving up love or connection. It means letting go of possessiveness and the need to control outcomes. In the context of relationships, non-attachment is the art of loving without clinging. And surprisingly, this is exactly what allows others to feel loved and respected without the weight of expectations or conditions. In most relationships, there's an invisible line between affection and attachment. We can love someone deeply, but attachment creeps in when we start expecting them to act a certain way, fulfill specific roles, or meet our own emotional needs. Attachment, in this sense, is rooted in the ego's desire to secure happiness by holding on to people as if they are possessions. But here's the truth. People feel burdened by attachment. It's the silent pressure that says, "You need to be this way for me to feel okay." Buddhist teachings show that when we remove this weight, relationships breathe. People feel free to be themselves, and ironically, this freedom strengthens the bond far more than clinging ever could. Why non-attachment attracts others? Non-attachment can be incredibly attractive because it fosters an environment where people feel valued for who they are, not for what they can provide. This is especially true in a world where many feel judged or misunderstood. Non-attached love says, "I value you as you are, not as an extension of my own desires." Imagine the difference between someone who loves you unconditionally and someone who's only interested in what you can do for them. People can feel the difference. Non-attached love is not only rare but deeply magnetic because it's rooted in respect rather than need. From a Buddhist perspective, non-attachment requires mindfulness and self-awareness. You can start by observing your own tendencies in relationships. Ask yourself, am I loving this person for who they are, or am I projecting my own desires onto them? Practicing non-attachment doesn't mean you have to stop caring or become distant. Instead, it means developing a mindset of openness and acceptance. When people sense that you're not trying to mold them into something else, they feel an extraordinary sense of freedom, and that freedom draws them closer to you. Applying non-attachment in everyday life. Imagine someone you care deeply about, a friend, partner, or family member. Now imagine that instead of needing them to fulfill certain expectations, you simply appreciate their presence, imperfections and all. You see them as they are, not as someone to fix or shape. That's the essence of non-attached love. Over time, this practice brings about an incredible shift. Without the burden of expectations, your connections become more genuine and less prone to conflict. People can feel when they are loved without conditions, and they will gravitate toward that energy. Non-attachment also enhances your own well-being. When you let go of the need for others to act in certain ways for you to feel content, you gain a sense of peace that can't be shaken. This calm confidence, the assurance that your happiness isn't tied to the actions of others, is a powerful presence that others find irresistible. In a world filled with attachment and neediness, the ability to love without clinging sets you apart. People may not be able to articulate it, but they will feel deeply respected and free in your presence, which ultimately builds a stronger, more lasting connection. Section 4. The Art of Deep Listening, the ultimate form of respect. If there's one quality that sets apart the most respected people in any room, it's their ability to listen deeply. Buddhist psychology teaches that deep listening, truly being present with another person without thinking about what to say next or how to fix their problems, is one of the purest forms of respect we can show. When we give someone our full, undivided attention, we're telling them, "You matter. Your words, thoughts, and feelings are valuable." Deep listening goes beyond hearing words. It's a practice of seeing and understanding another person at a profound level. In Buddhism, deep listening is often associated with samadhi, or a state of focused concentration. It's the act of being fully immersed in the present moment, without letting the mind wander. Imagine what a difference this kind of presence can make in our relationships. When someone is truly listened to, they feel seen, validated, and understood. It's an experience so rare in today's distracted world that it can feel almost magical. Just think about the last time someone truly listened to you. No interruptions, no checking their phone, no glancing around the room. That feeling of being genuinely seen is unforgettable, and it builds a foundation of love and respect that few other actions can match. Why deep listening draws people in? People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel heard. In Buddhist psychology, this is connected to the concept of equanimity, a calm acceptance of the present moment. Deep listening without judgment shows others that they are safe in your presence, no matter what they say or how they feel. Instead of trying to fix them, you're simply there, holding space. This practice of compassionate listening allows people to open up more easily and trust you deeply. They know they won't be judged, interrupted, or pressured to think a certain way. In fact, deep listening can transform even the most challenging interactions. When someone approaches you with anger, fear, or frustration, instead of reacting defensively, Buddhist psychology suggests that you remain fully present. Listen deeply to what they're really saying, beneath the words and tone. Often, people's harshest expressions are cries for understanding and connection. By practicing deep listening in these moments, you're not only diffusing tension, but you're also building a foundation of respect and empathy that people won't soon forget. How to practice deep listening in your life. Here's a simple way to incorporate deep listening into your relationships. Next time you're in a conversation, try setting aside your own thoughts and responses entirely. Focus solely on the other person's words, expressions, and even pauses. Let them finish their thoughts before you respond, and resist the urge to jump in with solutions or opinions. This isn't about staying silent, it's about giving the other person the rare experience of truly being heard. Over time, you'll notice that people open up more around you, share their thoughts more deeply, and feel more connected to you. One powerful technique in deep listening is to reflect back what you've heard. After they finish speaking, repeat back some of what they said, not word for word, but to show that you're absorbing their message. For example, if someone says, "I've been so stressed with work lately, and I feel like I'm not doing enough," you might say, "It sounds like work's been really overwhelming, and it's making you feel uncertain about your progress." This small act of reflection lets them know you're truly paying attention, and it often leads to a deeper connection and trust. Deep listening isn't about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about honoring the experience of another person. When we practice this, we become the kind of person who others respect, not because we have the right answers, but because we have the patience and compassion to truly see them. And in a world where everyone is eager to be heard, but so few are willing to listen, deep listening makes you unforgettable. Section 5. The Power of Compassion. Turning empathy into action. If there's one Buddhist teaching that holds the power to transform relationships, it's the practice of karuna, or compassion. Compassion goes beyond simply feeling empathy for someone's struggles. It's an active desire to help alleviate their suffering. In Buddhist psychology, compassion is seen as a natural, fundamental quality of the human heart, one that becomes stronger the more it's nurtured. When we live with compassion, people sense it. They feel our willingness to understand, to help, and to stand beside them through their challenges. This doesn't just inspire respect, it creates bonds of deep, mutual care. Compassion doesn't mean we have to solve everyone's problems, but it does mean we can approach others with an open heart and a genuine willingness to ease their burdens however we can. In a world where many feel isolated or misunderstood, even small acts of compassion stand out. When we bring compassion into our daily interactions, people notice. It's the difference between seeing a coworker struggling and thinking, "That's not my problem," versus saying, "How can I help?" Compassion asks us to drop our own judgments and preoccupations and instead look at each person we encounter as someone worthy of care and understanding. Why compassion creates respect and admiration. People naturally respect and feel connected to those who show them genuine kindness. Compassion is magnetic because it communicates a simple but powerful message. I care about you. In Buddhist psychology, compassion is closely related to the practice of bodhicitta, the desire to awaken not only for one's own benefit, but for the benefit of all beings. This mindset fosters humility, selflessness, and a sense of shared humanity. Imagine how transformative it can be to approach every interaction with the intention of lifting the other person, even if in a small way. Compassion breaks down barriers, erases misunderstandings, and brings people closer together. Compassion doesn't require grand gestures or heroic actions. It can be as simple as offering a word of encouragement, being patient with someone who's having a rough day, or giving someone the benefit of the doubt. When people experience this kind of compassion consistently, they start to feel that they're valued, that their struggles are seen, and that they're not alone. Over time, this creates a foundation of trust and respect that's hard to shake. Compassion is powerful precisely because it doesn't ask for anything in return. It's a gift, freely given. Cultivating compassion in daily life. Practicing compassion begins with small, intentional acts. Buddhist teachings encourage us to look for opportunities to help, even in simple ways. One way to start is by offering what's known as silent compassion. Next time you're in a public place, at work, in a store, or even stuck in traffic, take a moment to silently wish those around you well. Think to yourself, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering. This small internal shift plants the seed of compassion and opens your heart to others, even if you never interact with them directly. Compassion also means being patient with yourself. Buddhist psychology emphasizes that to truly extend compassion outward, we must first cultivate it within. This might mean forgiving yourself for past mistakes or treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a friend. When we learn to be compassionate toward our own struggles, we become naturally more understanding of others' challenges. This inner compassion radiates outward, creating an energy that draws people in and fosters mutual respect. Lastly, compassion often requires courage. It's easy to be compassionate when it's convenient, but true compassion sometimes asks us to step outside our comfort zone. It might mean standing up for someone who's being mistreated, lending a hand when it's inconvenient, or offering a listening ear when we'd rather focus on ourselves. Each time we choose compassion over convenience, we reinforce a bond of respect that others can feel, And in a world where genuine, unselfish kindness is increasingly rare, this quality makes you someone who people not only respect but deeply admire. Section 6. Practicing equanimity, the calm that commands respect. Equanimity, or upekkha in Buddhist psychology, is often described as the calm within the storm. It's the ability to maintain inner peace and balance, regardless of the highs and lows life throws your way. Imagine the kind of strength it takes to remain steady, compassionate, and centered, even when things around you feel chaotic or out of control. People are naturally drawn to individuals who possess this inner calm because they exude a rare confidence and resilience. When you practice equanimity, you become a source of stability and strength for others, a quality that inspires respect and admiration in everyone around you. In Buddhist teachings, equanimity is sometimes described as a warm neutrality. It doesn't mean you're indifferent or emotionally numb, rather it means you respond to life with a sense of inner harmony, without getting caught up in the swings of praise or criticism, success or failure. Imagine someone who never loses their temper or becomes overwhelmed by difficult situations. This person is not only respected but trusted because others know they won't be easily swayed by emotions or external circumstances. Equanimity allows you to see things clearly and act wisely, even when the stakes are high. Why equanimity commands deep respect. Equanimity fosters respect because it's rare to find people who aren't ruled by their emotions. In a world where so many are quick to anger, easily swayed by opinion, or visibly anxious, equanimity stands out. People trust those who can maintain composure, especially in stressful or challenging situations. This inner calm makes you someone others feel they can rely on, someone who doesn't bring unnecessary drama but instead offers a grounded, steady presence. From a Buddhist perspective, equanimity is a natural outcome of practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. When you cultivate the habit of observing your thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them, you develop a kind of inner resilience that is hard to shake. People sense this strength and are drawn to it. It's not just about keeping a cool facade, it's about embodying a sense of peace that radiates outward. This calm presence reassures others that they don't need to be anything other than who they are around you, fostering an environment of trust and respect. How to develop equanimity in your life. Practicing equanimity starts with becoming aware of your reactions to different situations. Notice when you're tempted to react strongly, whether it's to praise or criticism, success or failure. Buddhist psychology encourages us to see all experiences as temporary and to refrain from identifying too closely with them. Instead of letting praise boost your ego or criticism deflate it, treat both with a sense of acceptance. Recognize that neither praise nor criticism defines your worth. One practical exercise to strengthen equanimity is to pause and take a deep breath before responding to any intense emotion or situation. This small moment of reflection helps you regain balance and reminds you not to get swept up in the drama of the moment. Over time, these pauses become a habit, allowing you to respond to life with more calm and wisdom. Another aspect of equanimity is learning to let go of the need for control. Buddhist psychology teaches that much of our suffering comes from wanting things to go a certain way and resisting when they don't. By accepting that you can't control every outcome, you develop a natural resilience. This sense of ease and acceptance radiates to those around you who feel inspired by your ability to stay grounded. Equanimity also involves recognizing and respecting the boundaries between yourself and others. It's about understanding that while you can offer support, you're not responsible for fixing other people's problems or emotions. This balanced approach creates healthy relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. When people see that you respect both their autonomy and your own, they're more likely to view you as someone who is fair, dependable, and deeply respectful. In essence, equanimity creates a steady, balanced energy that others respect because it's so rare and valuable. When you embody this calmness, you become someone who others look up to, not because you're invulnerable, but because you're deeply connected to an inner strength that doesn't waver in the face of life's challenges. Before you go, if you found these insights from Buddhist psychology helpful and inspiring, imagine what's coming next. We're constantly diving deep into transformative practices that can elevate every area of your life, from relationships to inner peace and everything in between. Subscribing isn't just clicking a button, it's joining a community of people committed to growth, wisdom, and mindful living. By subscribing, you're saying yes to becoming the best version of yourself and sharing in a journey that's as exciting as it is enlightening. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon to make sure you never miss out on our next life-changing video. Thanks for watching and welcome to the journey. Till next time, namaste.